This is Greg Oliver with Agathon Solar. We are a Michigan-based solar installation company that also services the U.S. Virgin Islands. So this is our third video in the series that is geared towards helping the do-it-yourself installation person size his own inverter, battery, and now his solar system. So having discussed how big of an inverter we need to provide the amount of instantaneous power that we would need, and having also discussed how much battery we would need, understanding the loads and our energy consumption during the evening when there's no sun out, now we need to talk about how many solar panels or how big of a solar system that we would need to both power during the day and also charge the battery up while the sun is out during the day to get us through the night. This is really a pretty simple exercise because we've already done the work on the inverter and on the battery. I would just like to talk about a few things on sizing your solar PV system. For our purpose today, we have a SILFab BG 410 watt Elite panel. This is a monocrystalline Tier 1 panel. Tier 1 means that the company SILFab has been determined to be bankable by financial institutions. So this company is expected to be around long enough to stand behind its 30-year and 25-year warranty that Agathon Solar holds with it as a registered installer. Some of the important considerations in mounting your solar panels. One, what is the direction? We always want to be south if possible. East and west are also good. And you can even somewhat effectively mount panels on the north in the U.S. Virgin Islands, for example. In my trips out there, I've often seen panels mounted flat or even on a semi 412, 312 pitch roof facing to the north or northeast or northwest. Another important consideration is shading. Will there be any shade on the panel? If there is expected to be shade, then we would need to add a optimizer or a microinverter to that system to mitigate the loss of production from the shading. A very key factor in installing a solar PV system that really encompasses each of these three videos is what does your utility allow? For instance, in the U.S. Virgin Islands, WAPA is not going to give you any credit for your excess energy. So you ask yourself, when am I using my energy? If I'm using my energy during the day, then your solar will provide great power during the day while you're using it. Maybe you're gone Monday through Friday, you're at work, and you only use the majority of your power in the evening when you turn on your mini split, when you take your showers, when you use your well pump, etc. Well, now all the power that your solar could produce during the day, it's gone. WAPA doesn't give you nothing for it. You're not there to use it. So you're better to have a smaller system and a bigger battery to get you through the evening. Store all day long that energy that your solar will produce, and then use that energy at night when there is no sun.
Now that we have determined your total usage, we are next going to figure out the size of your solar array. We're going to move that total usage down and divide it by 6 hours of peak sun. That is the average amount of peak hours of sun that the U.S. Virgin Islands gets based on NRAIL data. We're going to then determine the AC production needed per hour, which is about 15 kilowatts for this example. We are then going to factor in that there's about a 14% loss going from the solar panels to the inverter, which will then be used by the house, which gives us a DC production of roughly 17.9 kilowatts of power. The last thing that we will do is divide that by what wattage of panel you're going to get. In this case, we were using the 410 watt panel, so in total you will need 44 panels.
So in sum, in order to size your solar energy system, you will have needed to work through the calculations of your inverter size and your battery capacity, and then also a really key component to work through is When do I use the energy? You always want to use it when you generate it if possible. Or maybe your utility has a net metering program or a distributed generation program where they actually buy back the credit. So now you could size your system where you overproduce in the summer, you're able to store that credit and it carries you through the winter, or at least part of the winter, as it does here in Michigan. So sizing your solar PV system has a holistic strategy in view. It is necessary for the do-it-yourself person to work through the exercises and calculations to size your own system. This will ensure that your investment of financial resources and time is well spent, and that the system will serve your goals long-term for you and your family, or you and your business. Agathon Solar is here to support you in this endeavor. We will review your calculations and help you design a system that will meet your specific goals and needs. We provide single-line diagrams, remote consultation, on-site tech support, and full permit packages as they are needed. Please feel free to reach out to us at info@agathonsolar.com. This is Greg Oliver with Agathon Solar, and we hope that we have enabled you, the do-it-yourself customer, to secure his own power for his home, family, and business.